genuinely feel actually a little pretty bad, like pretty sad actually. And Roxy wasn't even my favorite character from Security Breach. It was actually Glamrock Freddy next, and then Glamrock Chica. But that it really hit me, man. It hurt. What happened to the pizzeria, please? It should still be here, shouldn't it? Oh yeah, it collapsed. Did it collapse? No, it should still be here. Well, that's great. Or this is Pizzeria Simulator, maybe. It looks like a pizzeria, so, and it's deep underground, so it has to be, right? A Faz token? Yeah, it's got the old Freddy on it, so that's an old one. It's Candy Cadet. Oh. Candy Cadet, huh? Yeah, that's from Pizzeria Simulator. I didn't know he was down here. That's a nice little nod to that. Another. Another fast token? Hmm. I have a feeling I'm probably going to be using those on something. So I have no flashlight. I have no mask. I don't have Roxy anymore. I don't even have Candy Cadet here to... Wait. Can I continue your story, or... Or are you, like, done? Requires item? Really? That's interesting. Oh, you use the tokens for that. That's interesting. Yeah, this is the Pizzeria Simulator for sure. Wait a minute. Resisting the urge. What about this door? Another one? No tokens. Oh, wait. comic book. What? Hold on, was there one in here too? No. Interesting. How can you go even deeper than the pizzeria simulator? Apparently you can. Whoa. We're like even deeper? How deep was the pizzeria simulator? Huh? Huh? Oh, crap. So this is where you are. Huh? What the heck? Ugh. Oh, yeah. That would be useful. Oh, it's a it's a non-masked zone. Okay. Also freaking dark. I can't. What? Roxy? How did she get a lot? How'd she come back? Who activated her? Oh boy. Oh, right. I know, I have no freaking stamina. Out of, I'm out of stamina again. And out of stamina. I'm about to die. Oh, that's not fair. You don't get enough time to do that. Yeah, I'm about to die. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. It's got two different hands. So he killed her? And the Nexus AI thing that was tracking us down was actually designed to keep it hidden and steal themselves. It was actually, I guess, technically the good guy. We weren't supposed to shut down all those freaking things. That felt like a very anticlimactic ending, and I'm just obviously the supposedly that's the mimic, I believe, if I remember correctly, what it was called. That the new game coming out is supposed to explain the lore behind that character, but I'm hoping going forward, there's a few things that really need to be touched on in the FNAF series. Obviously, we have the lore of the Mimic, which is happening. We also need to have the uh, Fredbear's Family Diner. We need to have that too. That has to happen because if we that is a part of the ones we haven't got, which is right after the Mimic, and it's right before FNAF 2. So we have to have Fredbear's Family Diner uh, set up, and those two in the past. And there's definitely needs to be one based off of what happens after this, because obviously um, there's some more stuff. I think there is Help 1 to 2, which comes after uh, Ruin in the storyline, so I guess there is technically, but it doesn't. I don't know if it gives really a lot of clarity to what happens to her and what all this in the lore behind everything. What? You can't end it like that. So like, oh my gosh, like you leave that at a cliffhanger, and we don't even know what there's like. But yeah, like there needs to be you need to have at least two games that I don't know if Help Wanted to actually did explain anything. I might actually watch a Markiplier's playthrough of it to see the story because I can't play VR games that have a VR headset. Um, but if there isn't, we definitely could use one, and could use one for to explain what happened. Here, we're left with Cassie and Roxy, who would look like to be at the very bottom, like very very bottom of the like I don't know where they are. At this point, it could be the center of the earth. Um, but then also a storyline to explain Fredbear's Family Diner, which is the one that came before FNAF 2. Um, which it looks like the puppet was involved in that one, which could also we need to get a good explanation why um, the purple guy or William Afton decided to kill Henry's daughter for no reason, if this happened during the crying child being cut, or I forget what I think it's Ethan or something. I forget his name that we actually found out. But there needs to be like that puzzle piece needs to fit in, like the Fredbear's Family Diner section with them and with with I guess, and then obviously ending off Ruin, and then seeing what's happened with Roxy and Cassie. Now the whole thing with Ruin or Fredbear's Family, that technically some of the backstory in FNAF 4 shows what happens in Fredbear's Family Diner, because that's obviously when it takes place. You can see it says Fredbear and Friends, and Fredbear is the main person on the stage, and he's also one of the main villains or animatronics that are chasing you around in FNAF 4. But the difference here is with that is that there needs to be, like, we have the origin story for the crying child. We need the first game, because FNAF 2 takes place after Fredbear's Family Diner closes down. The animatronics were already possessed. So we need a game that takes place with those original Wither animatronics and their original designs to see where it started. That sort of thing, I think, would be a game at that point. It would go back to the old formula that Five Nights at Freddy's is known for. And I think maybe Scott could come out of retirement for that one. But I don't know. Definitely a couple, maybe one or two games in the past that could explain a few things, and then one after Ruin or after Ruin. But I don't, and that's about it really. I don't think there's any other FNAF games any other games that really need to be clarified in the timeline. You don't really need anything for FNAF. You don't need anything for FNAF. Like anything, the games in between FNAF 2 and 1 and 3, nothing really happens. So there's nothing you can do there. The in between FNAF 3 and Pizzeria Simulator, nothing really happens. Ultimate Custom Night is pretty much just in his own thing. FNAF World is like a side story between FNAF 2 and 1 3. Nothing really happens after FNAF 2, between FNAF 2 and 1, so nothing really happens there. Most of the plot that we don't know is what happens before FNAF 4, or before FNAF 2, because FNAF 4 takes place before FNAF 2, but it takes place in the perspective of the crying child who gets bit by Fredbear. We don't exactly know the perspective of the kids that vanished, that were placed inside of Bonnie, Chica, Freddy, and Foxy, that show up as and possess the Wither animatronics. So I don't know. It's something I'm hoping they'll go into future. Right now we're going to be finding out more about the Mimic, and then after that, who knows. I might play the Mimic game, but we'll see. It's supposed to be a VR game as well as a non-VR game, which kind of makes me feel a little weird, because if you translate something from a VR game into a non-VR game, it doesn't feel right. So anyway,